The horror genre is one of my favorites, but very rarely I'll come across an indie-based horror game. So that would be the genre of indie and horror, and the last one that I think I played truly was probably Outlast many years ago. So on July 28th, one horror game in particular spawned directly into my rotation, and that's going to be called One Eyed Likho, or One Eyed Likho. Not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but it is an indie-based horror game based off a Slavic myth called Likho, I think, or Likho, like I said. I don't really know. Anyway, so this came across Tickle My Pickle, and the thing that grabbed my attention for this one was that the game was all based in black and white, which adds another layer to the element of horror, I think. So as soon as I saw this, I said to myself, I definitely have to get my hands on it. And this is my full review on that game. Before we get started, I would just like to say hats off to the developers, because not only is this a creative game that they came up with, but they created a game based off of a Slavic myth, which is not just a great way for someone like me who enjoys mythology to experience the myth, but also a great way for the developer to share their culture, which I think they're a Slavic-based company, so if they are, it's a great way to share their own culture and their own mythology. Into the review, there are a few criteria that we will base the review off of, and that's going to be story, how long to beat, and gameplay. Gameplay is going to be average based off the breakdown of criteria I have here, which is going to be the world and atmosphere, puzzles, and the element of horror. For all you scary boys out there, I'm gonna let you know how scary this one is. That's what the element of horror is going to be there. We're gonna say that the story is going to come in at a 7.8. How long to beat? It was a pretty short game. I know some people don't like that, but I'm a person who doesn't have a lot of time. I'm kind of old. It's about 8 hours. I'm gonna give it an 8, but it was about 5 hours. The gameplay, going on to the breakdown. So for first, world and atmosphere, I give it a 7.3. The puzzles, I'm gonna give it an 8.8. There were some difficult puzzles, but they were very fun. I enjoyed them a lot. And then the horror, that pure element of horror I was talking about, I'll give it an 8.2. There were some moments where I was screaming like a little girl, no joke. Average these three out together, we get for gameplay an 8.1. So with the story at a 7.8, the timeliness it takes to beat it, and the gameplay, average these three scores together, and we get the final score for One Eyed Likho at 7.9. Overall, I think this resonates with me as a very good game. Now that you guys know the review score and you've seen a little bit of gameplay, let me know what you think in the comments. Is this something that interests you? Would you be pulled to purchase it? Let me know in the comments. I'm interested in what you guys are thinking out there. All right, so now closing comments. So the review score, it gives you a bit of an idea on whether or not you want to buy the game or not, but I feel like some additional comments might actually help out here. So the game is pretty similar to something like, in my opinion, Hellblade. So Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice or Senua's Saga, that game takes a more cinematic approach. It's you're doing a lot of walking. People might say walking simulator, but you're doing a lot of walking around, puzzle solving, and there's a little bit of fighting. And that's kind of where One Eyed Likho kind of meets a similarity there. There's a lot of walking, there's a lot of running, there's some jump scares, of course, and then of course there's puzzle solving, but unlike Hellblade, there is no fighting because it's a horror game. So it wouldn't be a horror game if there was fighting. That would be called survival horror, right? So that's where I would say there are some similarities for sure. Next, the puzzles, they are very easy at first, but eventually they get a little more difficult. And these puzzles, I did mention, I enjoyed a lot. So they start out very easy, so much so that you're like, oh my God, I'm so smart, like I'm a genius. Gives you a little dopamine hit. So these puzzles are really good. And something that they added with these puzzles is this thing called the Book of Worlds. And the Book of Worlds is kind of a whole story that you're putting together as you're progressing along through the game. And there's stories about Cyclopses and different kinds of mythologies. Like, one that you guys should all know is the Odyssey. There's a little story about the Odyssey that you can pick up, and there's a lot more. And it's all very interesting to read through these, and they're very short stories, and then there's nothing crazy. Okay, so wrapping up. So I just recently streamed this game in its entirety. If you want to view that stream, I'll have it linked in the description so you guys can go back to it. If you're stuck on anything, you can take a look at some of the chapters that I have there for you. Totally up to you, totally optional. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. If you stuck around this long, I'd appreciate a comment. Let me know how I did. be a kind, loving human being. I love kind, loving human beings. And then, leave a like if you thought it was good. If it was bad, if it was dog water, just give it a thumbs down. It will hurt me, but, overall it's going to help me get better. So appreciate your support and everything else. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later. Peace.